Hi guys, welcome to my channel Lush Gardener. I hope you guys are doing fine and are safe at home. So guys, today's topic is monsoons, and that's the next season that we soon going to experience. A lot of people are afraid about monsoons. A lot of people do have fear of monsoon, but let's be confident about this season. Because guys, as you know that the rainy season is the most important season that we all wait for. We all require water. Every living thing on this planet does require water, and our succulents as well. So let's take this season as an advantage, because there are a lot of things that would work out in your favor if you're confident and you know how to work around with this season. So with all the advantages, there are some disadvantages that also follow in this season. Now those disadvantages are because of the climate that is going to turn very moist and damp. Now moist and damp conditions are very favorable for molds, fungus, pests and insects, because a moist and damp condition gives them a very sustainable kind of an environment for them to grow and breed. So this is one of the disadvantages that we will tend to see in this season. So guys, the only way to minimize the risk of mold, fungus or bugs is that you have to make your soil less organic or less nutrient. Now if you might have seen the potting mix that I prepared, I did not add any kind of organic matter or any kind of nutrients, but my succulents do well in that kind of soil. Now guys, this is a perfect example of how mold looks on the soil. Now guys, this mold was caused because of neem cake, or in Hindi as they call it as neem khali. Now a lot of people are in the misconception that neem cake or neem khali is a fungicide, but guys, it's not a fungicide. It is a nutrient material that is added to the soil. It is an organic matter, hence when it is used in excess, you can see the amount of mold that is growing on this soil, because the soil is so rich in nutrients that it started to grow a lot of mold. So guys, if your soil is going to be very nutrient or rich in organic matter, these are very common scenes that you'll start seeing during the monsoon season. Now guys, a lot of people tend to use coco peat in their potting mix for succulents. I have told this before as well. Coco peat is not good for adult succulents because it tends to retain a lot of moisture. Now guys, you are entering into a season where it's going to be very moist and damp. It's going to be wet everywhere. The soil is going to take time to get dried. Hence, it's going to remain wet for a longer period of time. Now, here is the problem. Because coco peat is a material that tends to retain water, it's going to take much longer time for the coco peat to get dried, because even if there is sunlight, it would be partially covered with clouds, due to which the sunlight won't be very strong. Because guys, what the soil used to get dried during summers, like for example maybe in a week, now it might take double the time. Now when it has coco peat and when the environment is cool, moist and damp, it's going to take even much more longer time. So all the people who have coco peat in their potting mix have to be very careful that you do not add too much of water to your succulent pots. You have to take a lot of precautions, because your coco peat is going to take a very long time for it to dry. Now guys, I'm really sorry to show this image. It might be a little disturbing and disgusting for some people, but we need to understand that this is a part of nature. And if your soil is quite organic, or if it has too much of nutrients, these are the bugs that you'll tend to see on everyday basis. Now guys, as I said that this environment is going to be very moist and damp because of the monsoon season. So you will tend to see these bugs multiplying at a faster rate if your soil is very organic and it gives the favorable conditions for them to breed. So all those people who have been using organic matter like coco peat, coconut husk or coconut chips will be able to see these insects on a daily basis because of the organic matter. Now guys, there is nothing much you can do about it apart from sprinkling some kind of cinnamon powder or some kind of insecticides, but this is going to keep coming in because of the organic matter. So guys, this video completely discourages the usage of single-use plastic. All the plastic material that has been used in this video is either recycled or reused from other products. So the next few clips will give you an idea how you can protect your succulents that are placed outside in the garden area or in the balcony, how you can save them from getting wet. So guys, whenever I order stuff online, or a lot of you who order stuff online, you might also notice that you tend to get a lot of bubble wrap or a lot of plastic that comes along with the packaging. Now guys, it's a very good idea to save these plastics. You can reuse this plastic. Now the bubble wrap that I'm using over here has been coming to a very good use. You can see how well I have packed the pots. Now I was not able to move the pot because it was quite heavy. Hence this bubble wrap has protected it from the rain. Now guys, you can use a lot of plastic material like this rather than just throwing them off. You can reuse them. It would come in use someday or the other. Now these bubble wrap plastic that I have been using is been with me for almost over 2 years. Every monsoon they do come out from the storage and I use them. Once the monsoon season is over, I neatly pack them and store them. So every time when I take them out during the monsoon season, they are always fresh and it looks quite new. So to some extent this plastic can be reused. It also helps us to recycle plastic, which can turn out to be bad for our environment. So guys, a very important thing whenever you're doing this method of keeping a plastic over the pot, always remember that you do not tie them up too tight. There has to be air circulation within the pot. There has to be space wherein the succulents can breathe. As you can see that at this end, there is little bit of outlet wherein the air passes, and that is very important because succulents do need to breathe. So make sure that whenever you cover your succulents, it's not too tight. You have to let your succulents breathe during this period of time. So here I'm just going to lift up the plastic to just show you how well this protects your succulents from rain. Now you can see when I move the plastic, the soil inside is completely dried. There is not even a drop of water that has fallen into it. That is why plastic tends to act as a very good material when it comes to saving your succulents from rain. Now guys, the next main important thing is that you have to elevate your pot above the ground or above the floor. Now only covering the succulent from above will not help. You have to elevate your pot. Guys, remember it is the monsoon season, and if your pot is on the ground without any elevation, the floor or the ground will start getting wet, and at times it might even get flooded. Now if your pot is on the floor, the soil inside the pot will start absorbing the water from the floor, just like how it works out in bottom watering. Now if this keeps on happening every now and then, guys, remember your succulent will start getting overwatered, which you do not want it to happen. So it's very important you raise your pot. You can put any kind of material beneath it so that it does not come in contact with rainwater. So this is for all those people who are using coco peat in their potting mix. It's going to be a little complicated for you guys because coco peat tends to retain moisture, and hence because of this environment that is moist and damp and very less amount of sunlight, hence your coco peat is going to take a lot of time for it to dry. So ensure that only once it's completely dried you water. So guys, do not be afraid about this season. Please take this season as an advantage, because guys, you remember in summer you are watering your succulent much frequently, but in this season you have to cut down on your watering. So you can see in a way your work is getting less. So what you can do is you can start collecting the rainwater, because that is the best water that you can give for your succulents whenever the soil is dried. So remember guys, this is a very important season. We all do need water to survive. Hence, let's make the best use of this season. Collect as much as rainwater you can and you can use it for your succulents. I bet your succulents will love this kind of water. And also remember guys, you have to make sure that your pot which has the succulent has to have a very good and well draining soil. So guys, most of the cities have already started receiving the pre-monsoon showers, so it's time to prepare your succulents. You can tend to move them in a shaded place where they can be protected from heavy rains, or you can check with your friends or maybe with your neighbors if they have any extra plastic which they want to discard. You can use that, or you can even place your succulents under your balcony canopies. But as I said, please try to reduce the usage of plastic. So guys, another important thing before I end this video, now because it's going to be raining every now and then, there will be a lot of water that will be splashing onto the leaves if your succulent is not covered. Now guys, you'll have to be very observant. If you tend to see that there is too much of water falling onto the leaves, you'll have to move your succulent or you'll have to cover it. But make sure that you blow off the water. Don't let the water stay on the leaves for too long. So guys, I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please consider subscribing to my channel. Until then, take care, stay safe, bye bye.